Hey everybody, this is Emily with Local Tasting Tours. Don't forget to check out our upcoming Halifax North Craft Beer and Food Tour, which is in development starting in May. We're here at Field Guide on Gottingen Street with owners Dan Vorstermans and Kaylee Sutherland. Dan, one of the first things I heard about you guys was that you were going to focus on as many local producers as you could.
Yeah, I mean, the main reason we did it is because for us that's just the way that makes sense to eat. Locally grown produce has more nutrients in it because it's picked in the peak of its ripeness. So there's that stuff. In terms of meat and fish, I don't really see much reason to go out of the province. We raise pretty much any kind of meat that you'd ever want to get in Nova Scotia, including stuff like llama and emu, and we have great seafood here, obviously, and seafood again is always best when it's freshest. The only oil we use here is locally grown canola oil from Hill Creek Family Farm. This canola oil, it's cold pressed, it's really high quality. It has as much flavor as a good olive oil. We didn't really have to think about it that much. We just said, you know, this is what we're going to do because it makes sense.
Kaylee, you have so many shared plates on the menu.
Yeah, that's how Dan and I like to eat when we go out, and we always really explore menus, and we'll do things like only order, all of the starters instead of having 3 courses to our meal.
I understand that you got some expert help on setting up your cocktail menu.
Yeah, we are now doing a monthly cocktail menu, so we have 12 drinks on there, 6 classics and 6 contemporaries. We have a bar consultant, Jeffrey Van Horn, who also works down at the Bicycle Thief, and he's helped us a lot, both before we opened and since we've been open. And then our head bartender's name is Shane Behan.
I thought it was kind of cute how you were changing the menu more often and people were missing things already.
Yeah, we started out doing weekly menus, and I mean, we still get requests for drinks that were on our first menu when we opened in November. And yeah, people were saying, no, I still wanted to keep drinking that cocktail, but now I'm tempted by these new options. So we decided to just go to a monthly menu so that people could get more familiar with the drinks.
Kaylee, how do you like this neighborhood?
Dan and I have lived in the North End for a few years now, and we would not be anywhere else. And we really always wanted to make our living here as well and to employ other people who live in the neighborhood. Yeah, we love being on Gottingen Street. It's a really, really exciting time. We're closed on Tuesdays and we never know what to do. Like, we want to go everywhere. And I think that the things that are happening with food in the North End are really different than what you're seeing elsewhere in Halifax.
Yeah, I agree. The vibe is growing. Our guest today is Alex Coley, and he's the founder of something called Project OpporTUNEity, which is associated with the Youth Art Connection.
So as an employee for Cohen Auditorium and working with camps all through my youth, I noticed being exposed to a lot of different live performance. It really inspired me, and I think it had a pretty profound effect on my perspective and what I want to do with my life. I found myself in a situation where I feel like I can provide that experience for other youth that wouldn't necessarily get that experience. So I've been working directly with Phoenix Youth Choir and Mo Green's boys groups at Oxford School and Highland Park, some different things through our Youth Art Connection. So essentially my agenda is getting these young youth into concert.
The Entrepreneur program I thought was kind of neat. So it's almost encouraging kids, if they have an artistic skill that they want to develop, to look at that as a career.
So Ryan Veltmeyer and Ann Denny, who are the creators and directors of Youth Art Connection, and I mean, they've been really mentoring me. What they do with their Entrepreneur program is that they find mentors in different art communities to mentor these young professionals that want to pursue a career in the arts.
And there's a fundraiser coming up, I understand, Art Celebration.
That's happening on January 29th from 5 to 7 at McGuinness Cooper. So that's going to be in collaboration with the Michael Jean Foundation, and it's going to be trying to create a dialogue around how the arts can create a positive impact in the community and on people's lives.
Okay. I thought it was kind of cool how your menu is just on a chalkboard, and then if you have a group of people, you suggest...
Yeah, we suggest that you try the whole menu. So normally there would be about 10 things on the menu. It's a really, really fun way to experience all the food, and then often they'll end up going back and kind of ordering their favorite dishes. So often they'll reorder the donair steam buns because there's 2 in an order. So that's been really cool to see, and if someone does that, we always throw in one of our desserts for free as a little incentive for trying the whole menu.
What's in the donair?
The donair is a house-made donair meat, which has pork and lamb, and also lamb liver and spices and salt, and we kind of cook it like a meatloaf, and then it's cut into these thick slices and put inside a traditional style like open face steam bun with a house-made donair sauce that does not have sweetened condensed milk in it, which I'm always happy to tell people. And we have some tomatoes and onion on the plate, so it's just like a really fun take on the classic Halifax donair.
The little steam bun, you said that you take inspiration from other cities.
Yeah, we had eaten at Momofuku last year, and they have amazing steam buns. They have, yeah, like so delicious. Like you maybe don't even want to eat the ramen because the steam buns are so good. Like you could just go in and eat all the steam buns and not have anything else and be totally satisfied. So yeah, definitely took some inspiration from them, and we find that every time we make the steam buns, they get a little bit better. So perfecting that recipe.
And you do a lot of your own bread baking here.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful looking tongue sandwich. You said that you have older customers here and then younger customers who they're getting adventurous.
Yeah, I've been really pleased to see a really wide demographic of people coming in and enjoying the food. Yeah, a lot of our older customers who are coming in are seeing things on the menu like bone marrow and tongue, either like offal and offcuts and stuff like that, and they're really excited about it. They actually sometimes get annoyed when we don't have enough of it on the menu. And then yeah, the same with younger people. I really am noticing a huge trend of people just wanting to try everything and not being freaked out about it and saying, oh, I've never had this thing before and I don't know if I'm going to like it, but I'm willing to spend a little bit of money and try it.
Alex, can you give me your take on the donair?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't eaten a donair in quite a few years because after I eat them, I feel like I'm going to die. But no, that was delicious. That was easily better than the donairs I've had before.
It's kind of light, so I asked you immediately, Alex, if you were freaked out by the sandwich, but you said you made a decision to sort of change the way you eat?
Yeah, when I was probably 11 or 12, I remember I was eating calamari, and I was holding up a piece, and I looked at my dad and I said, this kind of looks like octopus, and he said, it is octopus, and I thought he was joking. I guess that was a big moment where I realized that just because something looks gross doesn't mean it can be gross, and I ate it, and I decided that I still liked it, so why not try all these other things?
And the tongue sandwich, I just got that really rich beef flavor too.
Like I said, I don't know if I would have even known it was tongue if I'd been eating it. It just tastes like a really tender piece of roast beef.
So we get the beef tongue from Olton's up in Windsor, and basically I salt it overnight with some herbs and garlic just to build a bit of flavor, and then poach it and then slice it thin, and so it's served cold with a parsnip caramelized onion kind of sauce goes with it, and then we serve it on a house-made kind of milk bread, and then there's a bit of the Dutchman's Old Growler Gouda on there, which is nice and salty and sharp, which adds a lot of flavor, and then some fresh parsley. I like fresh parsley on every sandwich ever, just because it makes it taste nice and fresh, obviously, and kind of brightens the whole thing up. So yeah.
Just a couple of questions. Alex, do you have a favorite kind of cherished food memory from your childhood?
Yeah, I remember back before the Kingwa took out the MSG in their food, they made dumplings, and all my family lives in England, so around Christmas, that was kind of the time I got to see all my family, and I have these great memories of sitting around one of those big tables with the kind of wheel in the middle and all of us fighting over the last dumpling.
And Kaylee, you said you could remember some stuff from your childhood in Tatamagouche?
Yeah, so I grew up in the country, and I have 2 older brothers and an older sister. We would make our own maple syrup in the spring, and my brothers are really into fishing. They're still into fishing, and we live right beside a river. I remember one day when my brother caught a trout with a leaf on a hook. This brother can also catch fish with his bare hands. And anyways, he just brought it home and was so excited, like running up from the river because it was like the biggest one, and like taking photos of it and being this big thing, and then going into the garden and, you know, like digging potatoes and picking peas and having this big beautiful family meal in the summertime.
It's a beautiful story. Dan, do you have a favorite locally owned business in the province?
Yeah, I mean, since we're based in the North End, I really love how many small independent businesses there are up here. One that comes to mind is Obsolete Records in the North End. I just love it. It's a tiny little shop. The guy who owns it is there every time you go in. Great guy. They have an awesome selection of records, which I spend way too much of my money on. And yeah, it's just a great place.
Frederick from Ratuno just came by and borrowed some buckets. I thought that was kind of an interesting community feel here. And Alex, do you have contact for people who want to learn a little more about Project OpporTUNEity?
Yeah, so we're hoping to get a website up and running quite shortly, but until then you can check out Youth Art Connection at their website, youthartconnection.ca. And then if anybody wants to contact me directly, they can email me at al698302@dal.ca.
Oh, that's so easy to remember. Kaylee, well, first of all, what are your hours and how can people come down and find you?
So we're closed on Tuesdays. We're open Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 6 until 12, and Friday and Saturday from 6 until 1 a.m. And you can find out more information on our website, which is fieldguidehfx.com, and our Twitter and Instagram is also fieldguidehfx. So you can find us there.
Thank you so much for this beautiful food. Thank you everybody for taking part. Really looking forward to more meals here and to hearing more about OpporTUNEity. This is Emily with Local Tasting Tours. Take a tour, take a bite out of Halifax.